The lead, I'm Jake Tapper. And now we continue with more of our interview with former Republican vice presidential nominee Sarah Palin. As children giddily count down to the holiday season and the stacks of presents that come with it, former Republican vice presidential nominee Sarah Palin's out to fight back against what she sees as a war on Christmas waged by the ACLU and atheists. She's so inspired that she wrote a book about it, out today. It's titled Good Tidings and Great Joy, Protecting the Heart of Christmas, and it explores the controversial aspects of publicly celebrating Christianity. I asked Palin about the book and the message it sends to those who do not share her faith.
So, Good Tidings, Great Joy, Protecting the Heart of Christmas, a book you wrote. It's one part love letter to Christmas and what the holiday has meant to you, and another part a treatise about what you think is going wrong with atheists and others, in your view, declaring war on Christmas.
The Scrooges declaring war on Christmas, yes.
So how is there a war on Christmas?
You see the ACLU letters that get sent around to all the school districts now, warning them, you know, you better not acknowledge that Jesus is the reason for the season, and don't, heaven forbid, you sing a song about Bethlehem or Silent Night, because somebody may take offense.
About 1 in 5 Americans does not identify as a Christian. Can you understand why somebody who is not a self-identified Christian would feel uncomfortable with demonstration of something from the Bible, from the New Testament, coming from the government, coming from a public school? Because to them that might feel like their government is picking a religion and it's not theirs.
Well, there are things that we can do about that to, I guess, lessen that offense. We can do that in our personal lives. For instance, in my family, we have the menorah out through December on our kitchen table. I want to teach my children about the Jewish faith.
What do you make of Pope Francis? What do you think of him?
I'm kind of trying to follow what his agenda is. You know, I'm surprised that he came out with a couple of things in the media, but then again, I'm not one to trust the media's interpretation of somebody's message. But having read through media outlets that he's had some statements that to me sound kind of liberal, has taken me aback. It's kind of surprised me. But there again, you know, unless I really dig deep into what his messaging is and do my own homework, I'm not going to just trust what I hear in the media.
Well, I said earlier I was surprised by your devotion of faith and how much you talk about it in the book. Just because politicians don't talk about it very often. I still think of you as a politician, Governor. If you'll forgive me.
That hurts. Oh, that hurts.
What church do you go to? What is your belief system?
Go to a Bible-believing church up there in Wasilla that's non-denominational.
Are you born again?
Yeah. I mean, when I was a young girl, I remember looking around the beauty of Alaska. Remember one summer at a summer camp, looking around at our mountain ranges and the beautiful lakes and this creation, and knowing, even as a kid, wow, there is something greater than self, and whomever it is that created this certainly must know better than I how to direct my life. I put my life in God's hands at that time.
This was a moment, an actual...
Yeah, it was an actual moment.
How old were you?
I was about 12. Yeah, I remember calling out to God and saying, I believe you, because I see God in my surroundings up there in Alaska. Really, it's hard to escape it. And realizing, again, that my Creator would have purpose for me, because there's purpose in everything. And then just through these years, a progression towards stronger and stronger faith, that is what I have had to, thankfully, go back to. So often, Jake, I find myself on my knees calling out to God for assistance, for help, for encouragement.
What kinds of things have you been through that you've needed God for?
Well, about 5.5 years ago, when I was 12 weeks pregnant and my doctor said your child will be born with Down syndrome, that was a moment of calling out to God, saying, really, God? You promise in your word in the Bible that you'll never give us something that we can't handle, and I don't think that I'm equipped to handle this. It took me many months to come around to the idea of, yeah, he isn't going to give me something that I can't handle, meaning I'll be able to handle this.
How is that beautiful little boy? How's he doing?
He is the most precious, perfect little rowdy boy. I mean, he's like any other little 5-year-old. He's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Wouldn't trade anything about him for the world. And see, 5.5 years ago, I don't know if I could have said that. You know, when I first heard what was coming, I didn't know if, but today, no, I wouldn't change anything about our boy.
You write in the book very candidly about when Bristol came to you.
Yeah, at first blush, you know, the impulse was, what, you're pregnant? Well, that's not supposed to happen, for one. And two, so when are you going to get married and take responsibility and raise your new family here, Bristol? And the other guy, and Todd is the one, who held back and said, no, not so fast. And we didn't agree right off the bat on how things we thought should shake out for our daughter and our grandson. But time has absolutely proven Todd right on that one.
You had some not super flattering comments to make about Levi the other day. Has this opened your eyes as to what single mothers go through in this country?
Oh, absolutely.
Because a lot of them obviously don't have the family that you and Todd provide,
family, right.
and money,
right.
And
well, the comment that I made about Tripp's father was, deadbeat dads, and that I'm so tired of deadbeat dads being put on a pedestal. But yes, again, a circumstance like that, less than ideal, has taught our family to keep eyes and hearts and minds open to what other people go through. Bristol's a great example of, yes, she appreciates so much the network of support that she has, but here she goes to school, she works, she's raising this child on her own. But Jake, it is such a tough life. It maybe sounds cliche, but it's so true. It's not something to strive for, that single motherhood, because like Bristol has always said, that baby isn't just some accessory on your hip, a cute little thing to be carrying around. Your life has changed now. You're no longer living for yourself, and at such a young age, it's hard to be ready for that.
Our thanks to former Governor Palin. Coming up next, we'll return live to the Philippines, where rescue workers are still trying to get to some of the hard